live streaming. Can you say hi to everybody, Marcella?
Hi.
Alright guys, today we're doing chalk monsters. Okay, Marcella, you want to show them what you have so far? She's been working on hers already. So we're using soft chalk pastels, and I have a lot, a variety of colors. It's one of my favorite mediums to work with. Even in my own artwork, I do a lot of chalk drawings, mostly of animals. And so this is a lesson that I usually do with second grade, is the chalk monsters. I do chalk with every grade, however, because it's a fun medium to work with. It's very vibrant. And this year I did chalk monsters with my high school students as well during drawing. And of course they did a much more advanced version of this project. It can be messy, as Marcel is demonstrating right now, so be careful using the chalk when you are touching other things. You want to just make sure you're touching your paper and your table, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you some basics on chalk monster drawing. When I do this lesson, we talk a lot about textures. So I encourage my students to make sure that they're thinking about, if their monster was real, what would it feel like? So that's something that will help inspire them on how to draw their monster as well. And then I usually do some sort of literacy short writing assignment along with it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with some chalk drawing and show you some techniques that I show the kiddos. So first I want to think about, what is my monster going to feel like? What does your monster feel like, Marcella, if you could actually touch him?
Soft.
He's a soft monster. Okay, so I am going to do a pointy monster. So if you touched him, he would feel sharp and pointy. So I'm doing like zigzag lines to make the illusion that my monster would feel pointy if he existed in real life. I'm doing like a big pointy head with my chalk. Okay?
He has arms.
Now you're getting chalk everywhere, aren't you? So that's one thing you got to keep in mind too when working with chalk is, careful, you don't need to press so hard, honey. So for one, soft pastels will break very easily, so you don't need to press hard, okay, because they will snap and break. And also they will smear a lot, so you want to try and not touch anything that you don't want to move on your paper. Hey, be nice to my chalk, okay? And so you have to be careful how you use it. So I'm going to give my monster some really big eyes.
This is his friend.
Okay, that's a good idea. And I'm going to do some really big pink eyeballs, I think. I'm going to show you a trick that you can do with the chalk here. Because it will smear, you can kind of control that smear. So I'm going to move this a little bit closer. So I somewhat colored in my eyes. So you can use your finger to kind of smooth out your chalk and help you color in something a little bit more and make it look a little bit smoother, depending on what kind of look you're going for. So if I wanted to, I could do that on my entire monster with the red. If I can go back and add red to the whole inside of my monster. And I don't have to color him in completely. I just want to make sure that I color in most of it.
Mom, are you going to do a mouth?
Yeah, I will, eventually. So one of the main things that I have students include, so they have something to write about. I have them have, their monsters have a mouth, at least one eye, they have to have a body, and then they can kind of decide their body parts from there. So when we do our short writing assignment, they can talk about all those different parts. So,
this is a girl.
when we do our writing assignment with this project, we talk about adjectives a lot, and adjectives are descriptive words that can describe the texture or how something
I'm going to make another
looks.
dinosaur.
Okay. A monster?
Yeah.
So you can see with my finger,
I need red.
I am smoothing out my red color that I colored in on my monster. So it looks a little bit smoother on the inside. my monster so far. Now, my trick is to kind of get it off my finger. I wipe it on my other hand. You can have wet wipes next to you or other things to help your little ones kind of wipe off the mess that they created on their hands if you want to. What we're going to do is we're just going to wash our hands when we're all done, right?
Yeah.
Because we're on a table that we don't really care if we get kind of messy. And I do have some hard pastels in here. These are not my favorite. They don't smear as well. But if you're worried about mess a little bit more, these work pretty well. I don't know why they're skinnier in this case, but hard chalk pastels go on a little bit more like crayon. I don't know if you can see that. So they won't smear quite as much as the soft chalk pastels. I'm just not a big fan of those because you can't really manipulate them quite as much.
And you can't see.
Let's see. I still need to give my monster a mouth, don't I? I'm going to give him some teeth. What's kind of fun about chalk is sometimes you can draw right over the colors you add on there. They might mix a little bit, but you can see my white mouth is still showing up over my red. So that's pretty fun. You can also spray your picture down with hairspray when you're done, and that will help keep your chalk on your paper. In the art world, we use little fancier stuff. We call it fixative, but it's basically the same thing. You just spray a little bit. I would stand about a foot away from your chalk, spray it with a little bit of hairspray, and that will help seal your chalk on your paper. How you doing over there, Marcella?
I have another trick you can do.
What's that?
You color in and then you smooth.
Yep. That is a chalk trick, isn't it?
That's what I'm going to do. And here's another way. You can just leave it like this.
Yes, you could. You could leave
Look
it.
at my hands.
I know, it's super messy. You can leave it just how you put it on your paper. It kind of depends on what you want it to look like, right?
Look at my hands. They're pink.
Mm-hmm. So when I do chalk with kindergarten, Marcella's age, 5-year-olds, we do talk a lot about being careful what we touch, and you will get messy. I give them fair warning on that whenever we do chalk projects. And I usually start them off really simple, and we just do a project where we blend a lot. We usually do circle or bullseye projects, and then by the time they get to 2nd grade, they're ready for something like this. Marcella's worked with chalk before, so she's had a little bit of practice with this already. Are you doing a monster that looks like mine?
Yeah.
Let's see. And what's fun about doing it on black paper, chalk shows up really well on black, as you can see. You don't have to use black, of course. You can use any kind of paper you have around the house, but
Yeah.
the colors show up so cool on the black paper.
Your picture can show up in the camera well, Mom,
Yeah.
but not real.
My monster is going to have lots of arms, I think.
Mine's too. I'm going to copy you.
It's okay, you can copy me. I would prefer if you made your own, because that would be more creative. But if you want to practice and try one like what I'm doing, that's fine too.
He's like,
Give him some orange eyebrows.
my monster is not going to have sharp teeth.
Okay.
He's just a little guy.
Alright. So there's my first monster. So if I had to use descriptive words for him, if I used adjectives, I would say that he was spiky or pointy or sharp. And he had four blue long arms. And he had sharp, pointy, scary teeth. And he had some kind of zombie-like eyes, I would say. What do you think? You like him? I don't know why he ended up kind of creepy. Just happens sometimes.
I'm going to make mine cute.
Okay. All right. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, please feel free to comment down below.
Whoa.
But under the video. Yeah, we're going to have to do some major washing on you. All right. So if you have questions about chalk or chalk monsters or this assignment, please let me know.
You can make Barbies too.
Oh my goodness. All right, bye guys.